Yes, so make the change. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sandeep. Study time paper. Start chapter 9. Um, Good evening, everyone. So we are going to discuss about CBSE Max 7th class, and the first chapter is large numbers around us. So it basically includes the large numbers, and to go to the large numbers, firstly we must introduce it like one by one. Like firstly, we'll see from the beginning level, from the smallest digits, so that we can introduce the 1 lakh. So to introduce 1 lakh, let's start from the smallest digit of the two digit number. The smallest two-digit number, which is 10. So everybody knows that 10 is the smallest two-digit number, and let us find the greatest two-digit number. Greatest two-digit number is 99. So smallest one-digit number, smallest one-digit number is 9. So whenever we add 1 to the smallest one digit or the greatest one digit or the greatest two digit number, we get into the smallest the further digit number. Like suppose we add 1 to the greatest two digit number 99, we get to the smallest three digit number, which is 100. So the greatest three digit number is 999. So whenever we add plus 1 to this 999, we introduce ourselves to the smallest four digit number, which is 1,000. So likewise, this greatest four digit number is 9999, which is 9999. And whenever we add 1 to this 9999, we get the smallest five digit number, which is a 10,000. So for our introduction to the 1 lakh, this is the last step. So the greatest five digit number is 99,999. To introduce 1 lakh, we must add a 1 to the 9999, which we get the smallest 6-digit number, which is 1 lakh. So this is the introduction to our first of the large numbers, which is 1 lakh. So basically the main concept is whenever we add a 1 to the greatest the digit number, like a greatest 5 digit or the greatest 4 digit or the 3 digit number, we get to the smallest for the digit number. If we add 1 to the greatest 2 digit number, we get to the smallest 3 digit number. If we add 1 to the greatest 3 digit number, we get to the smallest 4 digit number. And whenever we add 1 to the smallest 5 digit number, we get to the smallest 6 digit number, which is 1 lakh. So let us solve some examples in our exercises or the in-text questions. So here we can see like a question about Roxy and East2. So the question says that Roxy and East2 found that if they eat one variety of rice a day, they would come nowhere close to a lakh in a lifetime. Roxy suggests that what if we ate two varieties of rice every day? Would we then be able to eat 1 lakh varieties of rice in 100 years? So basically, the main concept is to understand the question so we can get the answer very simply. Let's break down the question like part by part. Roxy and East2 found that if they ate one variety of rice a day, like if they ate one variety of rice per day, which will be one variety of rice per day, they would come nowhere close to a lakh. So they pre-consciously recognized that if they ate one variety of rice per day, they would come not close to a lakh in a lifetime. So what they have decided is not one variety, but we'll just eat two varieties per day. Two varieties of rice per day. So then would we then be able to eat 1 lakh varieties of rice in 100 years? So the question is to find if they can eat 1 lakh varieties of rice in a lifetime of 100 years. So firstly, let's break down it. First, what is given for us? Like given rice varieties eaten per day. So how many rice varieties they have decided to eaten per day, which is mentioned in the question. They ate two varieties of rice every day. So the given rice varieties eaten per day is equal to 2. So per day. So we must find like how many varieties of rice, how many varieties of rice they can eat in 100 years. In 100 years. So which is our main aim of the question to find out how many varieties of rice they can eat in 100 years. So to find out how many varieties of rice can be eaten in 100 years, firstly we must find out how many varieties of rice eaten in a single year. So how many days are there in a year? Like it will be like 365. 365 days are there in a year. So 365 days there are in a year. So each day they will be eating two varieties of rice meals. So which will be multiplication with 2. So 365 into 2, which is equal to 730. So this is the number of rice varieties per day which they will eat in a single year. 730 rice varieties for a single year. Single year 730 rice varieties. So the question itself asks that how many rice varieties can they eat in 100 years? Will it be sufficient to 1 lakh or not? That is the question. So for 100 years, we must find out. So when it is 1 year, they can eat 730. So it will just be a cross multiplication of To find out 100 years, we must just multiply 100 with 730. 730 into 100, which will be 73,000. So they will just be able to eat 73,000 varieties in the given period of the question of 100 years. So what is the question? Would we then be able to eat 1 lakh varieties of rice? Can they be able to eat 1 lakh varieties of rice? No, because the answer is 73,000 varieties in a year. So 1 lakh is around 27,000 varieties greater. So this is the solution for the first question. So hence they can eat only 73,000 varieties in 100 years, which is not 1 lakh. So let us solve the next question too, which is given below it. So the next question is, what if a person ate three varieties of rice per day? This time this will be three. Like in the previous question, it is two varieties of rice every day. But in this question, like rice varieties per day, rice varieties per a day is equal to three. Right, rice varieties per day is equal to three. Will they be able to taste all the lakh varieties in 100 year of lifetime? Just the timeline is increased. The number of varieties per day is increased, which is increased to three. And the same question of the previous one, like how many varieties can they be eating in a single year? So how many days are there in a single year? Like in the previous question, there are 365 days in a single year. So per year, how many varieties they can be eating? That is the first one to find in this question. So it will be 365 into 3. 365 into 3. So 3 5s it will be 15. 3 6 are 18 plus 1 19. 3 3s are 9 plus 1 10, which is 1095. So this is the number of rice varieties they will be eating in a year. So the question says that to find out how many rice varieties they will be eating in a 100-year lifetime. Will they be able to achieve the 1 lakh target? So the target to achieve is 1 lakh. Will they be achieving the 1 lakh rice varieties per day or not is ours to find. So 1095 for a year, per year. 1095 per year. So to find out how many for 100 years, just like in the previous question, to find out how many for 100 years, like 1 year it is 1095. To find out for 100 years, we just need to multiply 100 into 1095. 1095 into 100. So it will be 1095 into 100. If you go with normal multiplication, 0, 0, and 1095, 0, 0, 5, 9, 1, 0. So the answer will be 1,09,500. So this is the answer. Have we reached the target of 1 lakh? Yes, we have reached the target of 1 lakh. We are approximately like 9,500 rice varieties greater than our target of 1 lakh. So this statement given in the question in this question is true. So let us move to the figure it out questions next, which are in the next page. So figure it out question says that first question. Let us see the first question. Let us break it down according to the 2011 census. Census is nothing but the calculation of the population of a town or a country or something. It's just about a calculation. According to the 2011 census, the population of the town of Chintamani. So there is a town called Chintamani, and they have calculated the population of that town, which is about population of Chintamani is 75,000, which is given in the question. Given population of Chintamani town is 75,000. How much less than 1 lakh is 75,000? So a simple question. How much less than 1 lakh is 75,000? That is 75,000 is how much less than 1 lakh. So we just need to subtract 75,000 from the given 1 lakh, which will be our desired answer. So 0 minus 0 will be 0, 0 minus 0, 0, 0. So we get here 10 and 9 and 0, which will be 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 7 is 2. So the answer for the first question is 25,000. So how much less than 1 lakh is to 75,000 is equal to 25,000. That is the answer for the figure it out first question. So for the let's solve the next question in the figure it out. So again there is a population question. The estimated population of Chintamani in the year 2024. Like in the previous question it is in the year 2011. Now the year has changed. It is in the year 2024, which is 1 lakh 6,000. So population, which is question number 2, population is equal to 1 lakh and 6,000. How much more than 1 lakh is 1,000, 1 lakh 6,000? So in the previous question, they asked how much less than 1 lakh is 75,000, because 75,000 is automatically less than 1 lakh. Now, because the population has increased more than 1 lakh, we must find how much more than 1 lakh is 1 lakh 6,000. So the reference number is same 1 lakh. But since they have asked for how much more than 1 lakh is 1 lakh 6,000, which indicates that 1 lakh 6,000 is the greatest number between these two. So we cannot subtract 1 lakh from 1 lakh 6,000 from 1 lakh, right? So this is not possible. This case is not possible. So we must find this one, which suggests us how much greater is 1 lakh 6,000 is than 1 lakh. So 0 minus 0 will be 0, 0, 0. 6 minus 0 will be 6, 0 minus 0, 0, and 0. So the desired answer is 6,000, which is 1 lakh 6,000 is 6,000 greater than 1 lakh. That is the answer for the second question. So let us move to the third question. So third question states that it is also a population question. By how much did the population of Chintamani increase from 2011 to 2024? Which is a connection question for the previous two questions. Like first question derives the population from 2011. So what is the population of Chintamani in 2011? This is the first question. First question, population of Chintamani is equal to 75,000. This is in the year 2011, which we need to connect it to the third question. So we must also know the population of Chintamani in 2024. So which is in the second question, the population of Chintamani in 2024 is 1 lakh 6,000. So the third question says that how much population has increased from 2011 to 2024. So firstly, write down the given. So write down the both populations. First write 2011's, which is 75,000. Next write down the population of 2024, which is 1 lakh and 6,000. So how much difference is there between these two numbers is the desired answer for us. So 2024 it is 1,06,000. 2011 it is 75,000. Just subtract these two numbers, we'll get the answer. 1,06,000 minus 75,000 will be the answer because that much will be increased between 2011 to 2024. So 0 minus 0 will be 0, 0, 0. 6 minus 5 is 1, and borrow this number 0, 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. So the answer for the third figure it out question is 31,000, because the difference between the population in 2024 and 2011 is just 31,000. So that is the desired answer for us. So let us solve some more in text questions. So here they have given a picture, like, look at from here, look at the picture on the right. Somu is 1 meter tall. If each floor is about 4 times his height, what is the approximate height of the building? So the question starts from here. So let us take the question to this page. So look at the picture on the right. Somu is 1 meter tall. If each floor is about 4 times his height, what is the approximate height of the building? So firstly, let's take the building 2, which is given in the question. So this is the building given in the question. So this is the building. The question is once again, like look at the picture on the right. Somu is 1 meter tall. If each floor is 4 times his height, what is the approximate height of the building? So let us break down the question. Firstly, look at the picture. Then Somu is 1 meter tall. There is a guy called Somu whose height is 1 meter. So if each floor is about 4 times his height, 4 times his height is nothing but his height is multiplied by 4. So then we will be getting the height of the floor. To find out the height of the floor, we must multiply the height of Somu with 4, because in the question it is given like if each floor is about 4 times his height. So what is the height? 4 times the height of the floor is equal to 4 times the height of Somu. 4 times the height of Somu. So what is the height of Somu? 1 meter. So 4 into 1, which will be equal to 4 meters. So the height of the floor is equal to 4 meters. So what we have got the height of the single floor, which will be this is the height of the single floor, only a one floor. What is the approximate height of the building? So we must find the approximate height of the entire building. So how many floors are there in a building? So just look at the picture firstly. So this is the first floor, this is the second, this is third, this is fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, nine, and 10. So there are 10 floors in the building. So to find the height of the building, we already got the height of the single floor, which is, let us take the first floor. The height of this floor is 4 meters. So here we can clearly see that each floor is of the same height. So what will be the height of 10 floor building? So the building has total of 10 floors. To find out the height of the building, we already have the height of a single floor, which is 4 meters. So how many floors are there in a building into number of floors in a building? Height of building is equal to 4 meters into how many number of floors are there in a building? 10. So the height of the total building will be is equal to 40 meters. So this is the final answer for this exercise question. So let us fast quickly rewind this question. Like firstly, the height of Somu is given, which is 1 meter tall. Write down the height of Somu as 1 meter tall. If each floor is about 4 times his height. So if each floor is about 4 times his height, a single floor is 4 times the height of Somu, which will we can be write in mathematical terms as 4 into height of Somu, where we will be getting the height of the single floor. To find the height of the single floor, we should multiply height of Somu into 4. So what is the height of Somu, which is 1 meter? So 4 into 1 is equal to 4 meters. We have got the height of the floor, which is 4 meters. So we must find the height of the building. So the building in the picture has clearly has 10 floors, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. So 10 is the total number of floors in the building. So we must find the height of the building. So one floor height is 4 meters. To find out the total height of the 10 floors, which will be multiplied by 10. So height of the building is equal to 4 meters into number of floors in a building. So how many number of floors are there in a building, which is equal to 4 meters into 10, which will be 40 meters. So the final answer we required is 40 meters, the height of the building. So let us see the next question. So which is taller, the Statue of Unity, which is taller, the Statue of Unity or this building? This building refers to the question mentioned above, which is what is the height of the building we have seen in the previous question, which is 40 meters. So we are comparing the Statue of Unity to that building. So how to find? Firstly, we need to find what is the height of the Statue of Unity. We need to find the height of the Statue of Unity. First, take the question. Let us take the question. So this is the question given. Which is taller, the Statue of Unity or this building? How much taller? If at all, if it is taller, if at all any building is taller than the other building, we need to find out how much is that building taller. So what is the height of the building? Firstly, we have found it in the previous question. Height of the building in the previous question is 40 meters. So we need to compare that building height to the Statue of Unity, which is given in the question. Statue of Unity. Firstly, to compare the both buildings height, we need to know the height of the Statue of Unity too. So until here we not have the information to find the which building is taller because we don't know the height of Statue of Unity. But below they have given us condition because we can see that the height of the Statue of Unity is close to four times the height of Somu's building. Four times the height of Somu's building. So firstly, what is the height of Somu's building? The height of Somu's building is 40 meters. So the height of Somu's building is 40 meters, and given in the question is that the Statue of Unity is close to four times the height of Somu's building. So which will be multiplied with 4. So to find the Statue of Unity's height, we need to multiply Somu's building into 4 because it is about 4 times. 40 meters into 4, which is equal to 160 meters. So how much is Statue of Unity? We clearly know that the Statue of Unity's height is 160 meters and the height of building is 440 meters. So which is greater? Statue of Unity is greater clearly 160 because it is 160 meter. So that's not the question. We need to find out how much is it taller. How much is it taller than the building? So how much to find out how much is it taller? We need to multiply the height of the building with the height of Statue of Unity. So Statue of Unity is equal to 160 meters and the building's height is equal to 40 meters. So to find out the difference, 0 minus 0, 0, 6 minus 4 is 2 and 1. So 120 meters is the difference between the Statue of Unity and the height of the building. So the final answer will be 120 meters. So let us look at the next question in the figure it out. How much taller is the Kunchikal waterfall than Somo's building? Let us take the question. How much taller is the Kunchikal waterfall than Somo's building? Firstly, we know the height of Somo's building. First, write it given. Height of Somo's building. The height of Somo's building is equal to 40 meters. So we need the height of the Kunchikal waterfall. So the height of the Kunchkal waterfall in general is 450 meters, which is the real height of the Kunchkal waterfall, which is 450 meters. And we now need to compare it with the height of Somo's building. So to find out which is greater, we can clearly see that the height of the Kunchkal waterfall is greater than the height of the Somo's building. Now let us find the difference between their heights. So to find out the difference between their heights, first write the difference. First write the height of the Kunchkal waterfall, which is 450 meters. which is subtracted with the height of Somu's building, which is 40 meters. So 0 minus 0 will be 0, 5 minus 4 will be 1, and it is 4. So the difference between the Kunchkal waterfalls and the height of the Somu's building is equal to 410 meters, which is the solution for this exercise question. So let us move to the next question. How many floors should Somu's building have to be as high as the waterfall? So this is an interesting question and different question than the previous questions. Let us take the question. So how many floors should Somu building have to be as high as the waterfall? Initially, how many floors are there in this Somu's building? There are 10 floors. Previously, building of Somu, which is equal to 10 floors. Then the height of the 10 floors is equal to 440 meters. So each floor height is about 4 meters. Single floor height is 4 meters. So how many floors must this building be to be as high as the waterfall? So what is the height of the waterfall? Height of the waterfall is equal to, as we have seen in the previous question, the Kunchkal waterfall's height is 450 meters. 450 meters. So number of floors required for Somu's building to be as high as the waterfall. That is the question we need. That is the answer we need to find out. So single floor is equal to 4 meters. One floor is equal to 4 meters. So how many floors must it be so that it is the height of the waterfall, which is 450 meters? So you just need to cross multiply and divide, which is like 450 meters into 1 and 4 into this. So which will be 450 into 1 and divided by 4, where we will be getting the resultant answer for our question, like what is how many floors must Somu's building so that it is as high as the waterfall. So 450 into 1 is 450, which is divided by 4. So it is a simple division, 450 by 4. So firstly 4, how many times 4 goes in 4 table, which is 1 time. So 4, 0, and bring the 5 down. So how many times does 5 goes? It does not goes, but the closest number is 1 time. So it will be 4 and 1. So 10. So 10. How many times 10 goes in 4 table, which is 2 times, where we'll be getting the 8. So the remainder is 2, but we need to find out the precise location, precise floors of how much it must be. So let us continue the division. So let us put a point and put a 0 here. So how many times does 20 go? Does 20 go in 4? Yes, it goes in 4 table, which is 5 times, which is 20, and the remainder is 0. So the resultant answer is 112.54 5 floors. 112.5 floors. So this is the height that building must be. These many floors must be in the building to match the height of the waterfall of 450 meters. So hence practically a zero point 0.5 floor is not possible. 112.5, a half floor is not possible. So the approximate answer would be 113 floors. 113 floors. So the building of Somo must be 113 floors so that it is as tall as the waterfall. So this is the end of the session, guys. Next session, we will be continuing with some more in test questions and we will be continuing the 1.2 exercise. So, thank you.